These are historic days for Israel. With those powerful words, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation in a speech that is now drawing global attention. According to him, the events unfolding today could reshape not only Israel's future, but the balance of power across the entire Middle East. For decades, tensions between Israel and Iran have been among the most dangerous geopolitical rivalries in the world. Israel has repeatedly accused Iran of building military alliances across the region and developing weapons that could threaten its existence. Iran, on the other hand, has denied seeking nuclear weapons and says its military capabilities are defensive. But according to Netanyahu, the threat from Iran has been growing for years. In his speech, Netanyahu said that more than 30 years ago, he had already warned that Iran represented the greatest threat to Israel's security. He argued that Iran had spent decades expanding its influence and building what he called an axis of terror across the Middle East. According to him, that network includes groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and other regional allies. These groups, he said, form a strategic alliance designed to pressure Israel from multiple directions: missile and nuclear concerns. Netanyahu also pointed to Iran's missile program as a major concern. He claimed that Iran had been developing large numbers of ballistic missiles capable of reaching Israeli territory. Alongside that missile program, Israel has long suspected that Iran is pursuing nuclear capabilities that could eventually produce atomic weapons. Netanyahu said Israel views that possibility as an existential threat, and he promised that Israel would never allow such a threat to become reality. Israeli military operations. According to Netanyahu, Israel has already carried out numerous operations aimed at slowing Iran's military and nuclear programs. Some of those operations were public, while others remained secret. He said these actions targeted military facilities, missile infrastructure, and key individuals involved in weapons development. The goal, he explained, was to prevent Iran from reaching a point where its capabilities could no longer be stopped. The War of Rebirth. Netanyahu described the current campaign as part of what he called a larger struggle for Israel's security. He said the recent operations have significantly weakened the network of groups aligned with Iran. But he also admitted that those groups still exist and could continue posing threats. That is why, according to Netanyahu, Israel intends to continue its military pressure. Hezbollah and regional tensions. One of the main focuses of Israel's operations has been Hezbollah in Lebanon. Netanyahu warned that Hezbollah would face serious consequences for attacks against Israel. Israeli officials say they have already targeted parts of Hezbollah's missile capabilities, but the situation along Israel's northern border remains tense. Cooperation with the United States. Netanyahu also highlighted Israel's close partnership with the United States. He said Israel and the U.S. have coordinated closely on security and military strategy. According to him, the alliance between the two countries is stronger than ever. That cooperation, he argued, is essential to preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons or long-range missiles. Message to the Iranian people. In an unexpected part of the speech, Netanyahu addressed the people of Iran directly. He said the future of Iran ultimately lies in the hands of its citizens. He suggested the change inside Iran could only come from the Iranian people themselves. But he also claimed that Israel's actions were creating conditions that could eventually weaken the current leadership. Regional alliances. Netanyahu also spoke about new diplomatic alliances forming across the Middle East. According to him, countries in the region are increasingly cooperating with Israel because of shared concerns about Iran. He said some of these partnerships would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. But the changing political landscape, he argued, is bringing new strategic relationships. Message to Israeli citizens. Netanyahu also praised the resilience of Israeli citizens during a time of heightened tensions. He thanked the public for following safety instructions and taking shelter during security alerts. He acknowledged that the situation has been difficult, especially in northern regions near Lebanon. But he said the determination of the Israeli people gives the country strength during challenging times. As the Middle East continues to face uncertainty, the conflict between Israel and Iran remains one of the most significant geopolitical tensions in the world. Both sides continue to monitor each other's actions closely. And as Netanyahu's speech makes clear, the struggle for influence and security in the region is far from over. The decisions made in the coming months could shape the future of the Middle East for generations to come.